This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Sure. I'd like to call a meeting to order on November 12th at 5:37 p.m. for the City of Easthampton Board of Health.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes.
All right, so we'll
You can
start,
sorry. You can let people in if you haven't let them in yet.
right?
Sorry, Beth.
No worries. Is that everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could mute your sound until, unless you are a board member, please. Okay. I'm just going to read opening remarks. In accordance with Mass General Law, we are required to let you know that this meeting is being recorded. We will begin the meeting with 15 minutes of public speak time, 3 minutes per speaker. Raise your hand if you would like to be recognized by the chair. Please note that during public speak, the board will be actively listening to your input for future discussion, but will not be responding to any comments at this time. Please do not speak unless recognized by the chair, and all comments should be addressed to the board. You can also submit a question or topic for later discussion via email to the health@easthamptonma.gov email. All right. So the first agenda item is public speak time. Please raise your hand if you are here for public speak. I don't see any hands raised.
I see one.
Oh, okay. You can unmute and please state your name for the board.
Yeah, my name is Abdul.
Abdul Butt is what you're,
Yes.
okay. All right, and what would you like to say?
I want to say that why you guys are making that hard to the people to live. I mean, we are a small business and you want to run nicotine free. You are not, or our city is not above the other cities. I mean, you want to make your own rules, do this, do that, do this, do that. Why? There is a, that already we are in the problem. We cannot sell any menthol. We cannot sell in the any flavor in the Massachusetts. How bad we are in the business right now, and you guys want putting more pressure on us. But what should we have to do? I mean, I know that everybody knows that everybody has brain that is bad or good if they are smoking. So it's bad. So, but they have a common sense. So you cannot put a dictatorship on it. Hey, don't do this, don't do that. Marijuana is not good. So why you are making illegal in marijuana in the Massachusetts? Why you guys have a flavored marijuana in the Massachusetts? Why you don't put the impose or illegal in that stuff in the Massachusetts or Easthampton? I mean, you are just putting a pressure, and people maybe don't like the city of Easthampton. 7, 8 years ago, you guys put a ban on the wrap. People are still buying the wraps. They are going to Holyoke. They are going to the other cities, Chicopee. All other is selling except the Easthampton. Why you guys want to become above to everybody? Why? I mean, you are a small city. You are not like a Holyoke or Springfield, big city. How many stores do you have it? I mean, if you are pressurized that much on the small businesses, what they have to do? They will closing the store, then you guys will be happy. You guys not getting any revenue, nothing. So how you can make the money? I mean, I have 4 kids. They go to the school. We are hard worker. But I know that you are putting this one, it will be effective after 20, 25 years. But in the future, so it will be like a village. Nobody want to stay here. They want to move out from the Massachusetts. They want to move out from the Easthampton. They want to move to the other cities. I mean, I've been here since 2007 on the store. But this is going to worse and worse and worse. And you guys are falling like from the Greenfield, Amherst, Northampton, and Easthampton. So everybody is pushing like this one. What happened in Northampton? They put a ban on the Zin, and what's going on? The other people are still buying Zin from the other cities. How it will be effective? Yeah, if it's a nationwide or statewide, that's the other thing. But you are just putting the impose only for the small town. How they can survive without that?
All right, that's 3 minutes. Thank you for your comments,
Okay,
Abdul.
yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Anyone else here for public speak? Please raise your hand. Okay, I don't see any hands. All right, we will move on to the next agenda item. Agenda item number 2, approve meeting minutes. I want to point out this is an error. We approved meeting minutes from August 13th and September 10th last month. It should actually read approved meeting minutes October 8th, 2025, which is what we will discuss today. I have reviewed the minutes from October 8th and have no concerns.
I don't have any concerns either. So I can make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Would you mind specifying the date? Just because it's wrong on the agenda.
Yep. Sorry, I got multiple windows open.
It's October 8th.
Yep. For October 8th, 2025, I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes noted on error on the agenda.
I'll second that motion. All in favor? Beth, yes?
Steve, yes.
Okay. Sorry. I just realized we don't have our third board member in attendance. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. Item number 3, Director of Public Health update. I did just receive an email from Ryan that he is not going to make it today at the last minute. I did review his update, and I appreciated the update and had no specific questions. Steve?
I didn't have any questions either. I look forward to seeing him next month.
All right. Moving on to the next agenda item, number 4, Health Inspector update.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'll just run through it quickly with food inspections to start. We've done 19 since the last meeting, routine inspections. And then we have, so on our 3-month tracker for the establishments that we're going back every 3 months, that we kind of want to keep on close tabs. We have 17 on there. We are really trying to dwindle that down. But unfortunately keep getting them, but I think I'd rather have them on that and keep tabs on them rather than go forward with the 6 months. So yeah, a couple with concern that are high priority right now are the Easthampton Diner. We've had to go there several times, and I know we did speak about their emergency shutdown. I went a couple weeks ago, completely out of non-compliance again. I just went back this past week, and they're back in it. So I'm keeping them on a close eye. We also had a complaint from El Camelito. somebody had a nail in their food, like an actual industrial nail. So, yeah, with how we went about that is we actually had them get a professional food manager go and train their staff for 2 to 3 weeks. We went back, everything looks great, everything was fixed, but again, we'll go back in 3 months. So just to put that on your guys' radar, that those are ones that we are keeping close tabs on. And then another thing that we're really trying to push is a lot of the establishments aren't aware of the grease trap that we have to, that's enforced in the food code. So they have to be serviced professionally at minimum 3 months, every 3 months. So we have gotten a lot of pushback on that because they want to do it themselves. They don't want to pay for somebody to do it for them. They don't think it's necessary. They don't get enough grease, this, that, and the other. So we're really trying to educate and enforce that everybody does need to have their grease trap professionally serviced, minimum 3 months. So that's something that's another thing on the radar, but we're trying to get everybody up to compliance with the grease traps. With housing, we received 17 housing complaints. That's the highest that we have all year. So lots of just nuisance type of complaints, overgrowth, bulky items. Steve, I know you put, I think it's 16 East Street on our radar. We had been working on that. It's actually a lot. So there's not even a unit to it. So it's just a lot.
Sure.
Wrote up a correction order for that. And as well as next door, we also wrote a correction order for the property next door. All the vehicles, I also wrote a cease and desist letter for the vehicles that are there. They look abandoned, and also for the RV that potentially somebody is living in. It looks like somebody might be living in it. So I wrote a cease and desist letter for that. Sent those out today, so those should be all set. And yeah, those are the big housing ones. We're trying to stay on top of the best we can with, working with landlords and the relationship between them and the occupants. But those are the biggest one is the East Street ones that we're really tackling right now. I know Ryan's not here, so the court cases, I think for Love Field is going on, 5 more, and we're still tackling. But those are kind of the key items for me.
Great, thank you, Kelsey. Appreciate all of your hard work.
Thanks.
Do you have anything, Steve?
Yeah. Have you guys been back to the Easthampton Diner and the Tavern on the Hill?
Yes,
Okay.
we have. So we went to Tavern on the Hill a week and a half ago. We did a routine inspection. Everything looked good in compliance. Dan, the fire chief, did send us, when he went for the fire stuff, he sent us a picture of her ceiling. Part of her ceiling was missing in the basement. That's fixed. And then her variance was approved for the 3-bay sink. She was good. She was in compliance. No concerns. She is trying to, I think she's in the process of actually selling it and turning over the business to somebody else.
Okay.
So, and then the diner, you said the last time we were there was a couple days ago. So, I think Monday of this week we went and tackled that, or yesterday actually, or was it whatever, the day before was this
Sure.
week.
Well, thanks for
yeah.
following up on those 2 sites.
Yeah.
Can you guys also send me or highlight the code for the every 3 months? And
Mhm.
do you know how much that usually costs, or?
It depends on how much grease and how maintained it is, I want to say.
Okay.
And I'm sure it depends on the different company. Obviously I don't recommend a company, but I do list
Sure.
the commonly used ones
Okay.
to the people. Yep. But I'd say $125.
So it's not unreasonable. Okay.
No.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the hearing with Go with the Float. Do we have someone from Go with the Float in attendance?
Hello, yes, this is Steven here. I'm the owner.
Okay, hi, Stephen. So just point of order, I guess. So Ryan is not here
Yeah.
to answer questions that we might have. In the interest of, you know, your time and considering your time, I'm thinking we hear what you have to say, and then we may or may not decide to make any decisions today, just because there might be additional information or questions we have for Ryan. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Sure. And I also, briefly looked at the variance and,
Same.
yeah. But yeah, we can talk a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, because the other option is we just postpone to the next meeting, but I figured since you're here, Steve, I'd like to, not waste your time, so.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean, did you guys have any questions for me? Again, I did meet with Kelsey and Ryan in person, and we went over everything, and I explained to him what I was asking for, and I sent in like a write-up of the explanation. So I don't know if you guys, maybe had some. Do you want me to explain, and then you can ask questions, or do you just want to ask questions?
Yeah, if you want to give like a short summary just for, to have it documented in the meeting, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah, so basically we do water testing every day, and I don't know if you have laid out in front of you the sheet that I sent that shows exactly what we have. We test the height of the water, we test the specific gravity, which is basically just detailing how much salt is in the water, the buoyancy. That really has nothing to do with safety, because that's just going to be if people are, kind of corked a little much or not enough. That's kind of just like a preference on our end. We're testing the flow meters. The big one is the hydrogen peroxide, so that's what we put in our waters, and that number shows us, it basically just kind of eats up like organic material in the water. So for some reason that number's shooting to 0, then it's like, okay, what's going on with our water? So basically we were testing these twice per day, and I laid out how it's really only necessary for us to do once a day. So we test day and night is currently what we've been doing for years. And it's I laid out again why it would just be necessary to test once in the morning. We test all these numbers, so that way we're paying attention to what happened overnight before anyone gets in our water, because we're also monitoring the water throughout the day. As people come in and out, we're looking at the water, we're checking it out, we're seeing if anything's wrong, we're running the filters all day, and then we get to assess it at the end of the night. And what we do test again at the end of the night is the H2O2 levels, again, the hydrogen peroxide. So we would be testing that, whether you guys want us to or not. We probably would just be testing that twice again anyway. So we just don't find it's necessary to like, oh, we wake up, we get in and the water's at 11 inches. Like, okay, now we got to measure that again. So that's just on our end. If we come in the morning and we measure and it's like, oh, why is the water at 10 inches? It went down an inch. What's going on? Is there a leak? So there's really no protocol for testing this much. The FTA, the Float Tank Association, did just come out with a write-up on this. That's like new industry standards, because there is no pool standards. And after speaking with Kelsey and Ryan took it upon himself to go over that, and he recognized that we're following all the standards the FTA wants. So that's basically what we're asking for, is just to bring our water testing down from twice a day to once a day.
And when you test it at the end of the day, like, is there much you need to do to the water? Because I guess my thought process as I'm listening to you is, would there be a chemical like imbalance, like a shortage of H2O2, in the middle of the day that is not addressed and could potentially be, a problem? I did review everything, but I'm obviously not an expert about this. So just curious if what your thoughts are on that.
No, because so in general, I mean, in 7 years, we've only had one problem, and it happened I don't know. I think it was maybe like a year and a half ago or so, and I'm still trying to figure it out if it was a complete fluke from the lab or what happened. We test so every 3 weeks we got our water tested at a lab for hydrotrophic plate count, Pseudomonas, and E. coli. And I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the HPC was like really high, and the lab had no instruction for me. And I called Roy Vore, who's involved in the float industry. He's one of the leading water microbiologists in the country, and I have a relationship with him, and he's like, he basically just told me to run the filter a few more times and retest it, to which I did, and there was all the levels were fine. So to me, that was peculiar and showed maybe that there was a contamination on the bottle or something I touched or the lab made a mistake. But that's the only issue we've had since we've been opened, and it actually really wasn't an issue. Like I think it was kind of a fluke. So I see what you're saying. Like, how can you know that potentially at some point during the day, the the hydrogen peroxide level would be down, and I don't know. That's just never happened. And again, it's like we monitor everything. Like everything's getting filtered. We can scoped anyway, and we can kind of just tell by eye and smell if there's ever really an issue. So just based on there has never been an issue, I don't think it would. I don't think this is. I know this isn't like a safety. It wouldn't sacrifice any safety at all. This new protocol.
Okay. And I mean, if it's in compliance with the, I don't know what you
The
called it.
FTA,
Well,
the FTA.
yeah, the
As a
FTA.
matter of fact, yeah, a lot of some states don't even require any testing, which I think is crazy. But I would probably like if I could pick something on my own after 7 years of experience in the industry, this is kind of what I would come down to. This once a day. I think any more is unnecessary, and I think any less is not a good idea.
Okay. Steve, did you have any questions?
I guess I would just, if you did have another finding, just to notify the board, or not the board, the health department.
Yeah, so the results get emailed to me and the health department immediately, and per
Okay.
Kelsey and Ryan's request, so that's all on email file. I've also been printing them out. So yeah, the tests are emailed to you guys immediately every 3 weeks.
What lab do you use?
Unfortunately, it's in Rocky Hill past Hartford. I've searched all over Western Mass, and there's no labs that can do the tests.
What's the name of it?
It's called Northeast Labs.
Okay. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any labs that you think might do this again, other than going out to Boston, because I have to drive it down because they don't have a pickup service. So
Sure.
I drive it down. There was this lab in Turner's Falls for a while. This lady was doing it for me, and they closed. So unless I'm unaware, this is the closest one I've been going to I could find.
Well, that's unfortunate and inconvenient to you.
Yeah. But yeah, we've again in 7 years, we've had no issues. The float industry, the float water is some of the safest public water that I think is out there for many reasons, unless float centers aren't doing their due diligence, which unfortunately some aren't. But it's just because they're unaware and uneducated. They're not going to the conferences. They're not learning from the professionals. So this is kind of what I've come to. As I'm just training more staff, this is what's come up. And as I'm training them the water, I'm telling them what we do and why we do it. And I always say to them, I'm like, it's not necessary that we do it 2 days. And then finally, I was like, you know what? I need to just bring this forth to the health department.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you did. I think. Well, did you have anything else, Steve? Before I
No. I got the lab's info here, so I'll look into them.
Great. So we could do a couple things. I mean, if you feel, like you have enough information, Steve, we could vote today, or we could, we have the option of voting on this like via email as well, after reaching out to Ryan if need be.
Yeah, I mean, I like to do it the second way, an email, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Steve, we'll have, obviously Ryan or Kelsey reach out to you, once things are finalized,
Sure.
but it won't be long,
Okay.
within a couple days, hopefully. Okay?
All right. No problem.
All right, thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Yes. Thanks for your time.
All right, have a good night.
Okay. You too.
All right. Agenda item 6, Board of Health Regulations Review Discussion, Nicotine-Free Generations. Ryan is not here, and I kind of feel like we should just postpone this to the next month, unless you really wanted to discuss it now, Steve.
No, I'd like to table item 6 for December's meeting. I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes?
All right, and then the last agenda item, number 7, items not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of the board meeting. I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either.
All right. I think we're all set then. Next meeting is, sorry, give me a sec.
It's okay, I do the same thing.
Second Wednesday, right? So
Okay, yep.
December 10th. I will be in attendance.
Great. I'll see you then. I will make a motion to adjourn the Board of Health meeting on November 12th at 6:03 p.m.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, Beth, yes?
Steve, yes?
All right, meeting
Have a great
adjourned.
night, everyone.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.